Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Callum Smith in for Bruce Frisco. It's Tuesday, April 7th. This is CTV News. Tonight, Iran war. Maritimers with connections to that country watch with fear and concern. Then, trailer gone. The removal of a symbol of protest at Africville sparks debate. And downtown Cache, New Brunswick's hub city, paying shops that have fallen victim to vandalism and theft.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Callum Smith.
Good evening. President Donald Trump has tonight agreed to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for 2 weeks. The ceasefire deal announced less than 2 hours before a deadline for devastating strikes. Still, rising tensions there have Maritimers of Iranian descent worried for loved ones. Here's CTV's Hafsa Arif with one woman's story.
Are we going to be free tomorrow? Or we're free from living under the Islamic regime? Hope to see you again.
It's one of two messages out of Iran from a close friend, one that's shaken Atifa Tabesh to her core since reading it.
My first reaction was that I cried. It might be the last message I'm receiving from my friends or my family.
An emotion impossible to ignore, only intensified after U.S. President Donald Trump's threats to destroy Iran's civilian infrastructure, which many see as a death sentence not just for the regime, but the people living under it.
I've been myself very overwhelmed with anxiety. I can't even focus. Like after reading the tweet this morning, I was shaken. Everyone was shaken.
Despite leaving the country years ago and last visiting in 2006, Tabesh has always wanted to go back, but hasn't because of the current regime, which is why for her, the crisis unfolding in Iran is never far away.
Iranian Canadian or Iranian all over the world right now, they live in a hope and fear right now, hope of the freedom and fear of losing loved ones.
While Tabesh says she's long been skeptical of political motives, she still believes the U.S. and Israel's involvement will bring freedom, but never expected it will come at this cost.
My understanding was that within the first 2 weeks they're going to be out, but being in the war more than 1 month and they're still in power, it scares me. And no, I wasn't expecting to be this long. I wasn't expecting to get this bloody.
Even now, she's looking ahead to a different tomorrow, one where Iran is free and a visit home is no longer uncertain, but possible. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Bedford.
Cape Breton police are investigating the suspicious death of a person at a home in River Ryan. This after being called at around 1 a.m. It's believed to be the result of a dispute between two people who knew each other. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene and the suspect is in custody. Police call this an isolated incident. An autopsy has been ordered. A Bathurst police officer is accused of harassing a former intimate partner after an investigation by the Serious Incident Response Team. Constable Nathan Petrie has been charged with criminal harassment, breach of trust of a public office, and uttering threats to cause death or bodily harm. Bathurst police say the officer has been on administrative leave since the investigation began. Constable Petrie is due in court in June. Well, you know you've got a problem with crime when City Hall puts up money for shop owners to deal with vandalism and theft. But that's exactly what's happening in Moncton. CTV's Derek Haggett has the details.
Some businesses are welcoming a new pilot project from the city that will support local entrepreneurs who have been the victims of crime.
So this is modeled on the St. John Community Resilience Program. It's an opportunity for business owners to get support with criminal activity.
The City of Moncton is funding the Downtown Resilience Program, providing $250,000 a year to local businesses to recover from vandalism or break-ins.
It's really important, you know. It just shows their commitment to making this a world-class city and a great economic and social hub.
Yeah, I think any program that can help small businesses is going to be a benefit. We all come across small issues all the time, and having that resource is going to be really, really beneficial.
Downtown property owner Joanne Phillips has been the victim of crime on more than one occasion. Phillips, a member of the Moncton-based anti-crime coalition Enough is Enough, says the program is a good gesture, but the funds should be directed toward more policing.
We need to address the crime. We need to focus on that. So is this the bad program? I don't know that it's bad, but are we really putting our effort and resources and finances into the right place?
Eligible businesses can receive up to $5,000 per property per calendar year to help with damages.
We're going to be reassessing within the next, 3 to 6 months. Are the amounts enough? Are they not enough? We think they are, but that's going to be, time will tell.
Funding will also be available for exterior security cameras or monitoring systems in hopes of reducing repeat incidents. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
A fixture along the Bedford Basin has disappeared. For decades, a trailer sat at the edge of Africville, part of one man's protest over the community's destruction. It's just been removed, and as CTV's Vanessa Wright reports, that's causing quite a stir.
For 55 years, Eddie Carvery's trailer stood as a symbol. It's where he led Canada's longest recorded protest. It's also the place Tanisha Carvery feels the most connected to her uncle.
He's very much my father figure. He's raised me from the time that he taught me how to swim in the Halifax Harbor.
Carvery camped out at Africville's historic site, believing it would eventually give the community justice after the city bulldozed it in the 1960s. His family hoped it would stand the test of time even after his passing last month, but yesterday morning when they came to visit, the trailer was gone.
This is something that we didn't expect because we all came down here to see the trailer and connect with my Uncle Eddie on another level. Regardless, wherever he's at spiritually, we were coming to connect with him, and that's how we found a bare land, no trailer.
The Africville Heritage Trust confirmed they removed it and claimed Carvery was given notice last year.
We told him that it would be removed, but the towing company went the extra step to call him personally to say, if we don't remove it, somebody else will. Would you like us to take it somewhere that you would like, instead of us putting it in a tow yard? He said no, he just wanted it to stay here, and of course it can't stay here.
She says that's because it became a safety issue, but wouldn't go into detail about how.
It's almost disgust that I feel, and sadness, not even just for the situation, but sadness that they would reach this level with no communication.
Peter says the heavy police presence on site is to ensure the safety of the museum and those inside.
I would never want to, interfere with people getting out what they need to get out, but we have a job to do.
As for Carvery's family, they're committed to a new fight, bringing his trailer and legacy back to what they believe is its rightful place.
The generations will carry this on. 55 years, blood, sweat, and tears will not go to waste, and I will stand on that.
Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
The Cape Breton Regional Municipality has maxed out its snow removal budget and then some. In what might feel like a never-ending winter for some, the cost is more than a headache. This year's approved budget was $5.3 million, but CBRM says current projections have spending coming in around $5.8 million. Councillor Gordon MacDonald says it could have been worse than coming in $500,000 over budget.
With these kind of winters, I guess it's to be expected. There's overtime gets involved in that. It's not just snowstorms that they deal with, freezing rain, snow overnight, having road salted for mornings.
If you put it in perspective of hours, last year with CBRM, we plowed the streets here in Whitney Pier. We did 82, hours, and this year we're up to like 146.
In Halifax, the city only had numbers until the end of February when it was about 87% through its $40 million budget. The spokesperson says updated numbers are due later this month.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
New Brunswick's premier says plans for a toll near the land entry from Nova Scotia will proceed as planned. Susan Holt confirmed that to the Canadian press despite pushback from politicians in Nova Scotia, truckers, and more recently the Atlantic Chamber of Commerce. Holt insisted New Brunswick is just doing the same as Nova Scotia, which charged out-of-province vehicles on the Cobequid Pass. Last month's record-breaking $1.3 billion deficit budget in New Brunswick added a toll by 2028 on out-of-province vehicles coming through ALAC. It's estimated to add more than $10 million to provincial coffers annually. The massive redevelopment of Halifax's Windsor Street Exchange just got a big injection of cash to upgrade what's going under the roads. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness explains.
13 infrastructure projects across the country are the first to benefit from the federal government's $51 billion Build Communities Strong Fund.
I was happy to be able to announce 40%, $28 million towards that project.
That money will help to build increased capacity in Halifax's wastewater collection system as part of the Windsor Street Exchange redevelopment plan.
The interchange can have about between 120,000 and 150,000 people moving through it. That includes about 50,000 transit users every single day. So this is one of the busiest and most important, most consequential intersections in Eastern Canada.
Expanding and upgrading the infrastructure under the roads is an important part of the project.
It'll provide additional capacity for the growth that's anticipated in the area, as well as just general good management practices in renewing the assets to get out in front of any future failures.
A lot of that growth is expected to come from investments in the Canadian military.
With the federal government's renewed investment in defense infrastructure investment here in Halifax, there are going to be more and more people and their families connected to defense and security living and working in Halifax, that we need to have places for them to live.
Mayor Fillmore says the cost of the entire Windsor Street Exchange project is pegged at $180 million. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Halifax.
Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and while it may not feel like summer tonight, we'll look ahead to warmer days in this report.
If we could extend the length of stay by just one day, it would have a significant impact on our economy.
Cape Breton tourism operators are looking to keep visitors on the island a little longer this season. Their plan coming up next.
With Aaron and Peter. Hey, get decked out with Kent just in time for the warm weather.
You can win $2,000 in patio furniture and decor from Kent. Enter at move100halifax.ca.
Welcome back. Cape Breton tourism operators are hoping to build on last year's success banner season, wanting to entice visitors to stay longer. Here's CTV's Ryan McDonald.
We had some economic research that said if we could extend the length of stay by just one day, it would have a significant impact on our economy.
Destination Cape Breton has launched a new marketing campaign, which includes a tongue-in-cheek promotional video online called Take Your Time. It's an idea they say came from vacationers' feedback.
And then we had some visitor research done that showed that many people that have come to Cape Breton said they wish they'd stayed a little bit longer. They didn't realize how much there was to do until they got here.
A lot of them are just doing the Cabot Trail to drive it. So we do get a large percentage of people staying just the one night.
The owner of this bed and breakfast near Bedeck says people booking longer trips to the island could mean added revenue from more nights sold and less of his money spent on turning over rooms.
But also the carbon footprint. If somebody spends longer in one little region, they're using less gas.
There's other destinations around that we're competing against like Newfoundland. Nobody goes to Newfoundland for a three-day weekend.
Still, this marketing expert from Dalhousie University thinks it's worth a try to get people thinking of Cape Breton in a similar way. Destination Cape Breton says while recent data shows the average stay on the island is 4.4 days, their hope is that visits of 5 to 7 days or more will start becoming the norm. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
All right, it's time now for a quick break. When we return, your complete maritime weather forecast. Here's a look at the Halifax waterfront this evening. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Meteorologist Kaylin Mitchell joins us now with your maritime weather forecast. Kaylin, blue skies across the region today, but that'll change, I understand?
Yeah, it's changing tonight for parts of the maritime, especially for the province of Nova Scotia. Seeing some April snow, though it won't be too far into the forecast before we see the return of some blue skies around the maritime region. Taking a look at our weather systems map, it is a low pressure system that's making its way out of the northeastern United States, passing to the south and east of Nova Scotia. That is bringing that province some periods of snow and a chance of flurries into southern areas of New Brunswick as well as Prince Edward Island. It's not a particularly strong weather system, and it's a pretty fast mover. So by the time we head into Wednesday morning, it'll be in the process of clearing the east of Nova Scotia. The remaining snow headed off towards the northeast, moving from the morning into the afternoon. Snow amounts for Nova Scotia tonight in general for the province, a few to several centimeters, but as with many of these spring snows, the amount that actually collects on the ground can be quite varied. Maybe you see more melt on things like paved surfaces and a little bit more collection of that snow on things like tree branches and lawns and the railings of decks. Taking a look at the remainder of the forecast for Wednesday, and behind it, we actually see a fair amount of sunshine in the afternoon, and there'll be a little bit of a cool north wind blowing, but temperatures are set to rise as we make our way through the end of this week. And we'll see that trend in the extended forecast in just a moment. Winds in the forecast for tomorrow, well, I just mentioned them. They'll be out of the north. They'll be a little bit breezy, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with some gusts between 20 and 40. Now for tonight, with some snow in the forecast, temperatures, of course, are going to be headed down towards and below the freezing mark. Between around 0 and -4 for most of Nova Scotia tonight, down to around -3 for Prince Edward Island in New Brunswick. A few degrees below the freezing mark around the Bay of Fundy coastline. The rest of the province, several degrees below 0, and even colder than that up around the northwest with some low temperatures between -10 and -14. There'll be a bit of a bounce back, though, in the afternoon tomorrow for the north of New Brunswick with high temperatures between 1 and 4 degrees and mostly sunny. Mostly sunny for central and southern areas of New Brunswick as well, with some high temperatures up between 4 and 6 degrees. Prince Edward Island will be a little bit more on the cooler side with highs between 0 and 3 with a mix of sun and cloud, north wind 20 gusting to 40 kilometers per hour. There'll be snow clearing through the morning in eastern areas of Nova Scotia with high temperatures of 0 to 4 for Cape Breton, between 0 and 2 degrees for communities on the North Shore, and on the eastern shore, high temperatures between 3 and 5. 4 for Amherst for tomorrow, 4 for Truro, and for Enfield, city centers Halifax and Dartmouth, near 6 degrees, 5 for Lunenburg, then near 7 for both Liverpool as well as Shelburne. Yarmouth with a high temperature near 3 degrees for tomorrow, and near 5 for the Annapolis Valley. Now, I mentioned a trend in rising temperatures through the end of this week with an area of high pressure in place, so we can expect some high temperatures in New Brunswick to get up to the low teens on Thursday, and on Friday, some high temperatures in the low to mid-teens. Temperatures then cool on Saturday with a round of showers moving through, a mix of sun and cloud on Sunday. Rain possible on Monday of next week, followed by a chance of showers, but mild temperatures in a south wind on Tuesday. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, it's a pretty pleasant day for Thursday, mostly sunny. A lot of high temperatures will be up around the mid to high single digits. Some into the low teens on Friday, might be even a little bit milder than that in the Annapolis Valley. Could have some high temperatures near 15 degrees. On Saturday, it's some showers in the forecast, cold front coming through, and then a mix of sun and clouds, slightly cooler for Sunday. Rain possible on Monday of next week, and temperatures rising in a south wind on Tuesday, though accompanied by a chance of some rain and some showers. And for Prince Edward Island, it's sunshine in the forecast for Thursday. High temperature near 9 degrees, but up to 11 on Friday with a mix of sun and cloud. Showers in the forecast for Saturday, followed by a mix of sun and cloud on Sunday. Rain possible on Monday next week. And the temperatures for Tuesday looking mild to warm. High temperatures could be up to around the low to mid-teens with a chance of showers. Callum.
All right, thanks so much for that, Kaylin. It's time now for a quick break, but stay with us. CTV News at 11:30. We'll be right back.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. Well, Green Shirt Day aims to raise awareness about organ and tissue donation. Today, CTV's Emma Convey met with donors who know very well the impact of the life-changing choice.
Raised in honor of Logan Boulay, a victim in the fatal 2018 Humboldt Broncos crash. He's remembered as a hero, saving 6 lives as an organ donor.
Happened to be working in Saskatoon the week of the Humboldt bus crash in the ICU and took care of Logan. I had absolutely no idea at the time that this would become what it's become, but it's galvanized the nation.
To Dr. Stephen Bede, April 7th comes with flashbacks of emotions in a hectic environment. Looking back at it now, he says he didn't realize how many people globally Logan's decision would resonate with.
Hundreds of people on the wait list, and we will have 30 to 40 donors in the year. People die while they're waiting.
Dr. Bede isn't the only registered organ donor here. The team at Legacy of Life, the provincial organ and tissue donation program, says they've seen quite the increase in donations since 2021, when the legislation changed, presuming consent for organ donation.
Around 300% increase in referral for potential organ donors in the ICU. We're meeting with more families than ever. Last year, we have registered the highest donation rate in the country.
The need continues to grow as hundreds of Nova Scotians wait for organ and tissue transplants. Halifax Mayor Andy Fillmore gave a proclamation at City Hall to mark Green Shirt Day.
That is an invitation for Haligonians to have those conversations with their loved ones and make their wishes known.
One donor can make a huge difference.
Can save up to 8 lives with organ donation. So we can donate heart, lungs, liver, pancreas, small bowel, and both kidneys. And for tissue donation, which is a little bit different than organ donation, the tissue can actually be stored and used when it's needed for surgeries. So that can change up to 75 lives.
Emma Convey, CTV News, Halifax.
Okay, it's time now for one last break. Coming up, a local artist shines a spotlight on Nova Scotia. But first, your wake-up weather. There's a live look at Lunenburg right now where it's 1 degree. It's Kaylin Mitchell with what you need to know in the morning when we come back. All right, it's time now for a quick look at tomorrow's wake-up weather. Kaylin's here for that. What do folks need to know as they're heading out the door in the morning?
Well, we'll have the last of that snow clearing the east of Nova Scotia first thing in the morning. It'll be a chilly to cold start to the day around the Maritime, especially cold in the communities in the northernmost areas of New Brunswick, where some of those morning temperatures between -10 and -14. The afternoon will be cool and breezy. A lot of high temperatures tomorrow, coming up to around the low to mid single digits. Winds out of the north and with some gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Callum.
Okay, thanks so much, Kaylin. Finally for us tonight, a local author and tarot card reader just added Nova Scotia to her deck. As CTV's Brianne Foley shows us, the details in the cards show the beauty of the province.
Local artist Ellen E. Sutherland shines a light on Nova Scotia through her historical science fiction series.
I have written several books in the Jamie Poole book series. It is a historical science fiction series that is based everywhere, anywhere, all at once. And my latest project is a tarot deck that is based on that book.
It was the perfect opportunity to combine her two worlds.
I use local scenery, Peggy's Cove, Blomidon, a lot of things out in the valley, and just felt like it fit with the tarot deck. You sit there and you can study it. It's a meditative tool.
The project helped her connect with her Canadian and Nova Scotian roots.
I moved from the United States a little over 14 years ago, and my grandmother is from Canada. And so when I had the opportunity to move back, and it was a deathbed request of my grandmother's to come back to Canada and reclaim her citizenship, because in 1964, when she gave hers up, she couldn't be a dual citizen. And so to honor her, I came back.
And adding some local history makes her book series and tarot deck all the more meaningful.
Actually, I used the Citadel and told the story of a soldier there. I wanted to showcase this area and really let people around the world know what we had here.
Fresh off the press, Sutherland's tarot cards are now available for purchase. Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Okay, that is your late news tonight. Just a reminder, if you've tuned in late or you'd like a second look at any of our stories, you can always visit ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It's your home for news. I'm Callum Smith in for Bruce Frisco. Thanks for staying up with us. I hope to see you again tomorrow night.